What are the specific challenges, as far as you know, concerning Nigeria in regards to reforestation, what we're talking about right now?
I mean, they're having. I mean, I think they have all the problems, like all the problems that people can have. I think, unfortunately, they experience that at least periodically in Nigeria. There's a lot of problems with climate crisis. It's creating drought in some areas, creating flooding in others, massive flooding.
Yeah.
I think that was underreported event in the media. The media was focusing on floods in Pakistan, and then Nigeria experienced similar catastrophic flooding. But it was overshadowed, or possibly the inability of the press to access Nigeria because of, say, poor road conditions or travel restrictions. But so there's, they're facing climate crisis and everything that comes along with that, which is, food insecurity, inflation in goods, which is making goods inaccessible to the people who need them. But we feel like Uche and I, feel like kind of stepping back. If people could step back away from, the modernization of the world and go back to more conventional permaculture style farming, agroforestry farming, better land management, because Nigeria experiences, like a lot of countries, declining soil conditions. But these, like, regenerative agriculture techniques can repair soil and can grow new crops and do things organically.
Yeah.
So that's meeting someone like Uche, who is working on those issues. It's just interesting, even just people who can see that, as an example.
How you mean?
People who can see stepping back. We think going forward is always, modernizing and, commercial agriculture, and you buy a bigger machine and you plow a bigger field and you cut down more forest and
fertilizer on top of it.
And like what Uche and I are interested in is growing a forest full of food.
Yeah.
But that happened before the industrial age. That's how people lived, especially in tropical environments.
Yeah, and I reckon they got the knowledge. They had the knowledge, but, well, modern society, they lose it. Eh?
Yeah, the knowledge was maintained in the examples in the land. It was what they had created. But when that knowledge, or AKA agricultural system, was cleared out to plant, say, we're going to cut all this food forest down and we're going to plant all peanuts in this field. And once that was eradicated, then that knowledge is lost. That example was lost because it wasn't photographed, it wasn't drawn, it wasn't written about. It was just there for the people to see and an example for them to emulate.
Yeah.
So they have to relearn that. So the way we can do that is by recreating those examples, recreating those models, and show people how plants can grow together, how they can profit from having more productive forms of agriculture.
And what we're talking about, I found it really interesting how you're talking about this loss of knowledge, and I think it's also about this loss of community where people are together who hold this knowledge and then give it on from generation to generation by example. And of course they talk about it as well. Yeah. But and this
Yeah,
is
because
another great impact Uche and RUWAI is doing, like not just reforestation to have some forest there, but really to building communities around nature, so to speak. Yeah.
right, and natural solutions like RUWAI works with beekeeping, and the traditional ways to collect honey would be to find a tree with a hive inside and cut the tree down and take out the honey.
Yeah.
And then when you wanted more honey, you found another tree with the beehive, and then you would cut it down, and then burn the firewood, get the honey, burn the firewood. Maybe the tree could sprout back. Maybe it didn't. So one by one, the trees are removed for the honey. So by teaching people how to raise bees, and I think he has, I don't know, 150 people now raising bees.
It's so simple. It's if you want to think about it, yeah, to give people really the means to get their own honey and not to cut down the trees, but you have to know it, and that's, I think, why we need an NGO who's really there, who doesn't like so many developmental projects. They bring there and we bring something and we teach you something. But it's actually, you need to know what's happening right there, what are the problems created there, regional, locally, and then find a solution there for what. And basically it's so simple, I guess. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's you can't blame the people for the actions.
No.
Because it's just a very simple, primitive method to collect honey, and on a certain level, it makes a lot of sense. Let the bees do their thing, cut down the tree, use the honey, You do, but the problem is, the number of people performing those actions versus what was it 100 years ago, 200, a few hundred years ago, you could cut down as many trees as you wanted to get the honey. The forest was so vast. Well, now it's, fast forward hundreds of years, and a lot of trees were removed to get the honey, and we need to come up with more efficient ways of producing the things that we need, more sustainable ways. And I think RUWAI is hip to that. I think that I think RUWAI understands that. I've had so many conversations with Uche over the last couple years. We get on the phone and just talk about all this stuff, and it's he gets it, and he sees that there's solutions out there, and he wants to help get them to the people, because it's like in two part, doesn't only benefit the people who's you present the solution to, but it benefits the environment.